Fudge Ireland have prepared 2 videos to support you in your HR training for operations. They are new staff induction and fast-tracking skills development, and managing teams and optimising performance. Each video is accompanied with a suite of checklists for you to download and adapt for use within your own business. Everything I step you through is adaptable for any size business, from a large hotel to a small pub or a corner cafe. This is video 2, managing teams and optimising performance. The key topics that I will cover are the 4 building blocks in creating strong performing teams, how to nurture and retain talent to drive business success, and how to set yourself up for success as business owners, managers, or team leaders for optimal performance. Over the next while, I will step you through the 4 foundation blocks and offer some top tips to build a successful team. And I will provide you with a simple step-by-step approach to how you can effortlessly implement this in your business, regardless of how big or small your company is, by taking you through a simple model based on before, during, and after. Before delving into the detail, let me take a step back and into your shoes. When you think about setting your team up for success and getting ready for the peak season ahead, I've no doubt that you will have many objectives. However, I believe that within those objectives will be to create a brilliant and safe customer experience that's executed through a well-oiled team that play to their strengths. When we think about a well-oiled team, we think about a team that are on their game, working to capacity, drawing on the strengths and skills they have. They are supporting each other and having fun along the way so that your customers have the best experience and either return themselves or tell their friends about the great time that they've had. A well-oiled team will be truly satisfied in themselves and connected to your business and what you're trying to achieve. With this in mind, you may have come across the customer-employee profit chain before. In a nutshell, when you have a highly engaged team of satisfied employees, they are really productive. They give a better service to your customer, which creates customer satisfaction and in turn, customer loyalty. This has a direct impact on your bottom line. So the big question here is, how do you create and maintain a brilliant and successful team of highly engaged employees so that you can optimize business performance today and every day? There are 4 foundation blocks that employers need to concentrate on in order to build and maintain a brilliant and successful team. They are basic needs, management support that's consistent and structured, teamwork, and opportunities for growth and development. Let's have a look at these 4 building blocks in more detail. The beauty about these is that primarily you concentrate on each individual of the team and how these 4 building blocks are being met. It is the culmination of experience that all team members have that make this work and help you to achieve a highly engaged and high-performing team. Indeed, there are many models, theories, and advice that you could follow. However, for me, having worked in this area for over 20 years, I believe that if you get these 4 areas right for your employees, that you will have a high-performing and engaged team that believe what you believe and will want to do their absolute best for the customer, the company, and their fellow team members. Underpinning all of this is great communication. And what's key is that employers, line managers, supervisors, and anyone responsible for directing your team keep talking to your colleagues, checking in with them, asking questions, clarifying expectations, not making assumptions, and seeking feedback all the time. So, to the 4 key areas. Let's start with basic needs. When we talk about an employee's basic needs, there are 2 questions we need to answer. Do colleagues know what is expected of them? And do colleagues have the tools they need to do the job they're being asked to do? The first basic need is clarity on what's expected of an individual at work. When people are really clear about what's expected of them, there's no room for ambiguity. The best way to explain to somebody exactly what's expected of them is to initially give them a role profile that clearly outlines the tasks and activities they are expected to perform in their role. You may have outlined behavioural standards that you expect Or you may have company values that you expect colleagues to live by and demonstrate every day. Typically, when a colleague is not doing what you expect of them, it boils down to one of two things: skill and will. Skill refers to a gap in the knowledge that can be learned, and will refers to their desire or a choice they have made not to do something. Either way, if colleagues are really clear about what's expected of them, your job in terms of performance managing them every day to get the best out of them is much easier. You can establish very quickly if they are choosing not to do something or if they have a skills gap. There are suggested role profile templates in the toolkit that supports this video that can help you outline exactly what is expected of a role. The second basic need is around them having the right tools to do their job. This is as simple as having the right IT equipment or the right personal protective equipment. Let me give you an example. If I am an accommodation assistant and in the hotel I work, there are only 4 good working order room servicing trolleys for 6 accommodation assistants. 2 of the trolleys have gammy wheels, and that makes pushing it while full difficult and laborious. If I have to arrive to work earlier to be sure to get one of the good trolleys, I will soon get fed up, as when I don't get a good trolley, it takes me longer to do my job and could result in my line manager having a performance conversation with me about not being quick enough. Another example is the well-known story of the elusive teaspoons we are all familiar with in food and beverage establishments. When staff struggle to deliver service to the quality expected, as in tea and coffee refreshments, presented with full crockery and cutlery setting as per our standard operating procedure, they soon lose interest in sweating the small detail of standards, even on the days the teaspoons are plentiful. So standards slip, inconsistencies in service creep in, and they stop caring. Customers are disappointed and critique the poor attention to detail, or worse still, both. Considering all of this, it won't take long for staff to get disillusioned in their work and may choose to move on to another job because they're frustrated not having the tools they need to do the best job they can and take pride in their contribution. Therefore, it's really important to identify exactly what tools and equipment colleagues need to do their job. The second key area is about having structured and consistent management support. Line managers make the difference. In a study by the American Psychological Society on how team members felt about their levels of motivation, job satisfaction, it being a great place to work, and their desire to stay working there, where the colleague had a great line manager experience, the results were almost 50% higher. Let's be real about this. There are very few people who want to get up every day to do a bad job and not achieve job satisfaction. It would be a pretty miserable existence if this was the case. People want to be part of something bigger. They want to feel like they are contributing and making a difference. They want to feel satisfied at the end of the day. Everyone has different motivations for working, and we know that when management support experience is consistent and right, colleagues thrive. When we talk about management support, there are 5 questions we should ask ourselves. Are people in my team playing to their positions of strength? As a manager, do I recognise when things go well and help colleagues understand what went wrong when they do go wrong, either individually or collectively? Do I genuinely care about my team and demonstrate that care? Do I listen to my team, and are their views and opinions important? Do I create trust in my team? What is really important here is that managers are approachable, are humble, they demonstrate an interest in colleagues, they listen and instill a sense of, my manager cares about me as an individual and wants the best for me in my job. This instills a level of trust. Trust is the foundation of every relationship. For trust to flourish, managers need to practice the following. They need to be credible leaders, demonstrate respect, instill a sense of pride, practice fairness, and foster a sense of camaraderie and fun. To really help managers in this space, they need to over-index on communications. Managers should always be watching and listening to colleagues to help them create an acute awareness of the team's strength. so that they can use the team to play to their strengths. A goalkeeper plays in goals, not as a striker. Constant feedback and recognition when things go well is gold dust. When things don't go so well, helping the colleague to understand where it went wrong is as important. Supporting this video, there are a number of helpful resources to guide your managers. One such tool is the New Starter Check-in Guidance tool, which can help you have these great conversations. Regular one-to-ones with your team also help keep you connected to what's happening on the ground with the individual, allowing you time to plan rather than react. A great tip is to learn 3 facts about each team member so that you can reference them when you engage with them. Who they support in football, their dog's name, their favourite programme on TV, or their family. This lets them know you are interested in them as people and that you care. Using team huddles at the start of the shift to educate everyone on what to expect is a great way to demonstrate support and galvanise the team around the goals of the day. It's a great opportunity to recognise colleagues for a job well done and consider once per week or month rewarding someone on your team for going above and beyond. A team huddle can be 5 minutes or a little longer, but best to keep these short for maximum impact and to assist recall. Keep information updates to no more than 2 to 3 items, and always include some coaching style questions to focus on guiding new learning. For frontline teams involved in sales, it's always useful to invite the team to set some sales targets for the day or for the shift. This is a great way to set people up for success for the upcoming shift. Equally, the shift handover and debrief at the end of the day is key to recognise the achievements and celebrate as a team if the targets were met, and if not, to explore what would help the team achieve their targets more the next day. Asking for contributions from your team for the next shift will let them know that their views and opinions are important to you. If something hasn't gone too well, approaching the why together will help you rectify the situation. Ask the team's view when this happens. A few heads are better than one, and the problem is owned collectively. High-performing teams are very connected. Management behaviour really builds this connection. The third area that's key to the success of building a high-performing team is fostering a teamwork culture. For an individual to feel fully sated at work, there are 3 things they need. They need to feel that their work is important and meaningful. They need to feel that their work is valued. They need to feel part of a great team. If any one of these things is missing, you won't get the best from an individual. Therefore, in considering this and the whole area of teamwork, there are 3 questions you can ask yourself to establish if you truly foster a team working environment. Are the team clear about what we are trying to achieve, either as a company goal or a shift goal? Are the team playing to position? Do they have the opportunity to do what they do best every day? Do you encourage cross-functional working so that the team can learn from and support each other? When teams are aligned around a united goal, everyone is driving in the same direction. Even when things go off track, it's good to remind the team that they are all in pursuit of the same thing. It's great practice for you to really identify the skills that you need for every role on your team. When you've established this, cross-training and upskilling everyone in other roles so that you can create an A team that can work anywhere in your business is really powerful. There is a training checklist in the supporting resources to this video that you can adapt by role to help you on this journey. The fourth and final area to concentrate on to build a high-performing team to optimize performance is to provide growth and development opportunities for your team. Everyone has different reasons for coming to work every day. Everyone has made a different decision in relation to the role they've chosen to do. For some it's a career, and for some it's a job. Everyone has different levels of ambition. Some want to do a great job in the job they are doing, and some want to progress in the company. There is no right or wrong answer. Your job as a line manager is to harness the motivation and capitalize on it for your company. Regardless of the motivation, and as discussed in the teamwork section, people still want to feel part of something where their work is meaningful, impactful, and valued. Through regular conversations with your team, You will gain an insight into their motivation and desires and an understanding into whether they have the opportunity to do what they do best every day. Constantly ask your team about their ambitions to learn more in the role they do or to upskill into another role. Using the training checklist for the roles in your team and understanding the crossover in skills will help you build a flexible workforce. Having now delved into the 4 key areas that help you build a high-performing team to optimize performance, let's look at a simple model to help you put this into practice by concentrating on what you can do before, during, and after you establish and build your team. As part of the Fáilte Ireland Supports for Businesses, you will have already encountered the recruitment webinar and the accompanying toolkit. You may have also seen the new staff induction and fast-tracking skills development video. If you have not, I recommend you check these out. There are some great tips and advice there too. So when you've recruited your team and are ready to go, consider some of the following steps. Before, refine your role profiles and reference them constantly so that your team are really clear about your expectations of them. Check out the template for these in the supporting resources under role profiles. Establish who your team players are and your shining stars in each area and what their key strengths are. Establish where the crossover of skills exist so that you can mobilize quickly and cross-train your team so that you have a flexible team capable of supporting any gaps or absences. Again, check out our supporting resources for the example, training, checklist and matrix. If you operate a shift pattern, establish who your go-to person on the shift is so that if the team leader or supervisor is absent, you have backup. Determine your communication strategy in advance and stick to it. Team huddles at the start of a shift debrief at the end, a shift handover for the incoming shift so that they are aware of what has happened before they start. Within the toolkit, there is a huddle sheet and a shift handover. So during, stick with the team huddles, even if they're just for 5 minutes, or to tell them it is postponed until later in the shift. Use the shift handover to help your team understand what's outstanding from the previous shift. Help them to expect the unexpected. Check in with your team constantly during the shift. This will help you mitigate any issues and help you plan. During quiet times, plan your new starter check-ins, and for seasoned colleagues, have a one-to-one conversation regularly to check in on how they are. This establishes trust, and your team will be more likely to come to you if they've any issues, personal or professional, so that you can mitigate any issues. Feedback, and more feedback. Recognise colleagues for a job well done. And a simple thank you and recognition for those who went the extra mile at the end of a shift goes a long way. And after. So while it can be done during, you may choose to do your one-to-one check-ins after the shift. Get into a routine of a debrief. Chat with your team about what went well, what didn't go well, and how you could improve this. What should the team focus on for the next shift? Listen to their feedback and take it on board. And celebrate your successes. We've covered a lot today, so by way of a summary, the 4 key areas that you should concentrate on to build and maintain a high-performing team so that you can optimize performance and delight your customers are: ensure your team's basic needs are met and they are really clear about what's expected of them and have the tools to do their job. Ensure the management support is consistent and structured. Foster and encourage an environment where teamwork makes the dream work. Identify opportunities for growth and development for all of your team. Planning how you're going to do this before, during and after, and using the tools at your disposal will help you deliver a great experience for customers and colleagues alike. The additional videos in the HR Training and Operations Suite and all supporting checklists are located here on the Fáilte Ireland Business Supports Hub. Thanks for watching.